All right, today we were going over number 61. It is the third heat in our tricycle race. We've got Barbara, Mark, and Carlos. So take a second, read this information. And we're first going to answer part A. Part A says, what is the dependent and what is the independent variable? So that is referring to our graph here. The independent variable will be whatever is on our x-axis, and then the dependent variable will be on our y-axis. So one way to remember that is that this line here depends on this line. So I know that y will be dependent, x is independent. So up here on Carlos, it tells us that x represents time in seconds. And so since this is our x-axis, x is our independent, and y, which we know is distance from the starting line, and that is our dependent. Now part B, using our given information, we are going to graph lines for all three of these. And I'm going to take a second and color code. So Barbara is going to be in red, Mark is going to be in green, and Carlos will be in blue. All right, so we're going to start with Barbara. She started with a 3-meter head start, so I'm going to give a point at 3. She pedaled 3 meters every 2 seconds. So that means my meters, which I forgot to label over here, and then my seconds is over here. So meters, I went up 3 every 1-2 seconds. So 3 meters, 2, 3, 2 seconds, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then using a straight edge, we're going to draw a line. So now we're going to talk about Mark. Mark is green. He finished the 20-meter race in 5 seconds. But we also know he started at the starting line. So I'm going to give this guy a point here. And then 5 seconds later, he is already at that 20 meters. So that's all we know right now. But as long as I have 2 points, I can graph a line. All right, last up is Carlos. We're actually given Carlos's equation. So we know that the +1 in any equation is our starting point, which means on our y-axis. So a point at the +1. 5/2 is our rise over run. So that means I am rising 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, every 2 seconds. 1, 2. and then Carlos's equation is over here. So all we need to do is double check that at 2 seconds, which we know is our x value, both of these should give us the same y value of 6. So let's see what happens when we plug in a 2. And that is a check mark to show that, yes, that is what we want. Now, same thing here. Which again equals 6, that is what I want. So we can now guarantee that this is when Carlos passes Barbara.